To discuss the significance of this Sunday's parliamentary elections in Venezuela, we now welcome Lisbeth Melendez, a human rights activist, who's speaking to us from Washington, D.C. Lisbeth, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
Lisbeth, what can you tell us about the importance of this Sunday's parliamentary elections?
But I think, at any time a democratic process is put into place and the people are able to express or affirm their desire to continue to have the government of the people by the people, we are facing an important moment. In today's world where so many authoritarian and other types of governments are formed, any time that the people have the power to express their opinion is an important one. And, as I've always said, it is not a matter of a foreign power to try to impose their ideology into the democratic process in any other country. Far and foremost, I think that self-determination of the people and whatever consequences that the self-determination have are part of what is demonstrated with, when 20 million Venezuelans have the right and the opportunity to go to vote for those candidates who represent their thinking. And, as any other party, as somebody who sits in the United States, it is the incumbent of the rest of the powers of the world to respect the decision of the people of Venezuela.
What kind of coverage are these elections receiving there in the US?
Very little. Very little. I have to tell you, this country, as you probably are aware, is entailed in its own, shall we say, messy election process where the incumbent refuses to leave. The winner of the democratic elections by more than 8 million votes is fighting to put together a transition that is smooth and resembles some of the transitions these countries have gone in the past. I don't think that will be what we will see in the next month or so. COVID continues to be rampant due to the denials of the government in power to address the needs of the people, and people are dying. And so for the government itself and for foreign affair people, people like myself who do international human rights and others, I think that the voice of the people of Venezuela remains important. They are paying close attention to not just them, but to others, because the United States does have a hand in what happens in America Latina, a covert hand in what happens in America Latina. And I'm sure that it will continue to try to manipulate the desire of the people as they have in the past. And yet the people, the community, those of us who live outside of those places where you have direct access to information know nothing, because the press is only focused on covering COVID and the consequences of the November 3rd election.
Lisbeth, the issue of human rights has been manipulated by several sectors in order to attack the government of Nicolas Maduro, both within Venezuela and outside Venezuela. What can you tell us about these moves?
Well, I think, you said one is that you're required to destabilize the country by recognizing somebody who might have not been democratically elected. You push your own agenda by creating linkages between people. You triangulate. The United States might not directly have a hand on what happens in Venezuela. They might do it, through any other power or any of their other allies who are willing to engage. They've done it in Cuba. They've done it they did it in Argentina, maybe most famously Central America and Chile. I think, where they didn't like the results of the people, and therefore they went in and created coups. Or had people from other countries destabilize the economy in order to create chaos and to eventually be able to manipulate. Access to the resources that a resource-rich country like Venezuela have are essential if you're really talking at what is latent imperialistic, tendencies that Western European and the United States countries continue to have, even though they continue to speak as if they were respectful of people. The people's desire to hold a different kind of government than that they hold themselves.
Lisbeth, thank you so much for joining us today and for offering your insight into this Sunday's parliamentary elections in Venezuela. Thank you.
Thank you.